Now at Rogers Center, the Blue Jays are introducing Kazuma Okamoto after signing him to a $60 million contract. Let's listen live.
Gordon. The format for today will be some opening remarks from Ross and Kazuma, followed by the jersey presentation, which you will come up for some photo opportunities, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. For the Q&A portion, it'll be English questions first and Japanese questions second. And with that, I will turn it over to you, Ross.
All right, thank you everyone for being here. Thanks for the opportunity to celebrate a great day. As I think about today's impact and just where we are as an organization, our mission and our goal is to bring World Series championships to Canada, and really that starts and ends with the support that we've had from Rogers ownership. Thinking back on last year, the run that we had, the way that it showcased our city, our team, our fan base, this organization, to players like Kazuma, that really doesn't happen without the commitment from Edward Rogers, Tony Staffieri, and Rogers ownership to make this organization of championship caliber. This offseason has been no different. To have this addition, to be here today, to have the acquisition of Kazuma Okamoto is another significant step for this organization. So with that, I thank you, Kazuma, for deciding to make Toronto your new city, your new team and organization. We definitely got better today. So with that, I'll turn it over to Kazuma.
Hello everyone, my name is Kazuma Okamoto. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I am very happy to join Blue Jays. I will work hard every day and do my best for the team. Thank you for your support. Nice to meet you. Go Blue Jays. Thank you.
And with that, we will do the jersey presentation. For those who would like photos, we ask you please come to the front.
Get you guys together for a quick photo. Check. Good. Thank you.
All good. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, so there we have it. The latest free agent signing, infielder Kazuma Okamoto. The official announcement happening live this afternoon right here at Rogers Center. We just heard from GM Ross Atkins thanking Okamoto and saying that we definitely got better. Okamoto saying he will work hard. By the way, Okamoto's contract, $60 million. Let's continue to listen live.
Hello, Kazuma. I'm Keegan Matheson. I cover the team for MLB.com. Welcome to Toronto. What have you experienced over this last month? What emotions and challenges have you gone through this past month as you make such a large decision for your career and for your life?
とりあえず、トロントにようこそ。 もちろん、最初の1ヶ月前に、ポスティングの手続きありましたので、具体的にどんな、不安とか、気持ちについて、教えていただけますか。
はい、初めての経験でしたし、すごくこういう待ってる間はいろいろな気持ちはあったんですけども、ブラスコーポレーションスコットはじめ皆さんが、動いていてくれてたので、僕は自分のやるべきことに集中して待っていました。
There were a lot of different feelings, but ultimately, with the support of the Boris Corporation and everybody pushing on different areas, he was very appreciative that he would focus on the things that he could control as a player. So there was a lot of confidence in what they were doing.
And as you went through your decision, what was it about the Blue Jays in Toronto that you were attracted to? What excites you about this team, this city, for you?
ブルージェイズの、理由としては、選べる理由としては何でしょうか。
やっぱりすごく街がいいところで、何より強く世界一になれる、そういうチームだと思いますし、だからそれを選びましたし、一番、それと僕の娘に30球団のロゴを見せた時に、一番最初にこれが可愛いと言って選んだのがブルージェイズでした。
Well, first of all, I think he loved the city of Toronto, and then obviously the team is very strong, so he thought there was a lot of support there. But the one thing that stuck in his mind is that he put all 30 logos of MLB teams in front of his daughter and said, which one do you like the most? And she pointed out the Blue Jays, so that stuck in his head the whole time.
Go to Ben.
Hey Kazuma, Ben Nicholson-Smith with Sportsnet. Congrats on the deal. How would you describe yourself as a player, and defensively, where are you most comfortable?
入団おめでとうございます。プレイヤーとしてどんな選手ですかっていう話だし、そしたら一番いいのポジションに対してはどこがいいのかちょっと質問ありました。はい、
僕は体が丈夫なところと、バッティングが得意なところと、3つのポジション、どこのポジションでも守れる準備はしてきていますし、いろんなところを守るっていうのは僕自身好きなので、すごく楽しみです。
Well, he says he considers himself a strong player with strong batting skills, but when it comes to defense, he likes playing different positions, and he likes being a utility player where he can do different things and contribute in different ways. So doesn't necessarily like one or the other, but any ways that he could contribute to the team, he would continue doing that.
Do you have an expectation for how you'll contribute defensively for the Blue Jays?
今までの話の内容について、期待してる、どうやって役割もするかっていう、今期待してますか。
はい、僕自身その日その日のベストを出してチームに貢献できるようにしたいと思っています。
I think a lot of the conversation is still ongoing, but ultimately he's going to do anything he needs to do to contribute to the team, and I think that's a conversation between management and him.
Go to Gregor.
Ross, Ross, what initially drew you guys to Kazuma, and similar follow-up to Ben's question, how do you guys envision using him? He's got experience at various positions. How do you envision using him defensively?
Yeah, I mean, it's been exciting to watch him over the years. He's had an incredible career thus far. The impact on both sides of the ball, the offensive ability is as dynamic as it comes. It fits us very well. The contact ability against high velo, against all types of pitching, really any caliber of pitching, he's been able to not only make contact but drive the ball, which is about as good of a compliment as we could ask for. And then I think he answered it perfectly. We're set up that he could impact our organization from a defensive standpoint in several ways. So we'll continue to have that dialogue with him. But his openness to put the team first is extremely attractive to us.
You guys have spent a lot of money already this offseason, made a lot of moves. I think one question a lot of people are wondering is whether you have the flexibility and the interest in making another big kind of impact type move, or whether or not this kind of completes the big transactions that you've made this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard me say probably too many times to count that we'll always be open to making our organization and team better if there's a way to do that. At this point, we were answering the question, back in early December and even in November, that we felt good about our team as we were set at that point, and that remains the question. That remains the case, and we've made it better. So we do feel good about our team. The one thing that I would add is additions at this point will start to cut away at playing time from players that we feel are very good major league pieces, so we have to factor that in. But we've always had incredible support from ownership.
Go to Mitch.
Hi, Kazuma. I'm Mitch Bannon from The Athletic. I'm just wondering why, at this point in your career, was the time you decided to make the move to Major League Baseball?
なぜ、NPB から、MLB の挑戦決まりましたかっていうの質問です。
ずっとこの MLB でプレーしたいと思ってましたし、日本一にはなれなかったんですけど、次は世界一になりたくて来ました。
He's always wanted to challenge for the to play in the MLB. Obviously, up to this point, when he was with the Giants, he hadn't won a championship, and one of his major motivations coming to the United States has been to bring a World Series to Canada and to Toronto and the Blue Jays, and that's one of the reasons why he was motivated to make the move now.
And I'm also wondering, have you talked to any current or former Blue Jays about what it's like to play here?
今の、ブルージェイズか、前のブルージェイズとか話したことありますか？今のブルージェイズの選手とか、前の選手とか話したことありますか？そういう話について何か内容を説明できますか？
はい。ブルージェイズの方。
そうですね。はい。
はい。チームメイトに山口俊さんっていう元いたんですけど、その方と少し、チームメイトだった時に話したりはしましたし、でも基本的には鈴木誠也さんだったり吉田正尚さんだったり菅野さんたちとたくさん話をさせてもらいました。
There was one player, Yamaguchi-san, who he did have conversations with a little in the past, but ultimately at this point he's talked to other MLBers on different teams, whether it be Seiya Suzuki or Sugano-san or Yoshida-san. So they've spent some time with, he had conversations with them about the experience of playing in the MLB.
We'll go to Rob.
Kazuma, Rob Wong from Toronto Sun. Just curious with regards to the World Baseball Classic, are your expectations that you will represent Japan, or are you still having those conversations?
WBC で、日本代表として、もうそういう決まりましたかっていうの質問なんですけど、
僕はそのユニフォームを着て戦いたい気持ちはすごくありますし、すごく光栄なことなので、準備はしています。
He feels honored to be able to wear the Japanese jersey and hopes to do that. Our conversations are still ongoing, but obviously that's kind of where his feeling is.
And with regards to the number 7 that you're going to be wearing for your jersey, what is the significance of that, and how did you decide on it?
じゃあ7番の背番号に関してはどうやって選びましたか？
はい。 ずっとプロに入ってつけたかった背番号でしたし、憧れの背番号だったので、あと僕にとってのラッキーナンバーでもあるので選ばせてもらいました。
He's actually always wanted the number 7, even when he was playing in the NPB and as a young child. And so he was really happy that he had the opportunity to get it. And then finally, obviously, number 7 is a lucky number. So he thinks that'll bring him luck as he comes and joins and challenges in MLB.
Go ahead, David.
Hey, Kazuma, David Singh from Sportsnet. Nice to meet you and congrats. Ross mentioned a few minutes ago the World Series giving the Jays a chance to showcase the city and the team. I'm wondering, from your perspective, what was it like watching the Blue Jays in October, and what did you learn about the team from afar?
去年の今年の去年のワールドシリーズもブルージェイズが参加しましたんですけど、そういう試合を見るとどういう感じですか。どう思いますかっていうのを質問です。
去年ワールドシリーズを見ていた時は、まさか自分がトロントに来るとは思ってなかったので、本当に野球の一ファンとして、すごく熱くて、感動する試合でした。
Basically, he was very, very impressed by the play, but more so, he was very impressed to see how the fans cheered loudly and how much there's so much love for the Blue Jays, and just didn't really understand the possibility, or it didn't come to his mind that he would be able to play at such an amazing location and team.
Go ahead, Mike.
Mike Wilner from the Toronto Star. Kazuma, welcome to Toronto. Congratulations. I'm wondering, when you said you talked to people like Suzuki and Yoshida, what did they tell you about the difference between coming here and playing in Japan?
NPB と MLB の違いの話なんですけど、鈴木さんと吉田さんについての話で、具体的に違いは何でしょうかっていうのを質問です。
やっぱりパワー、スピード、そういう部分は違うっていうふうに、聞きましたし、それは僕も映像、試合を見てそういうふうに思います。
He thinks at this point, from what he talked about, there were a lot of major differences in power, speed. A lot of the physical attributes are a little different, so that's something that he'll have to continue to watch and adjust to as the time goes forward.
And I was talking to one of your former teammates on the Giants, Justin Smoke, who only played there for a little bit, but he talked about how he feels like you have more power than he does, and he's someone who was a big power hitter and all-star here in Toronto. How do you think your power will translate into the ballparks here in North America?
ジャスティン・スモークっていうのは元のチームメイトの話なんで、彼より、彼言ったことは、彼より、カズマさんの方、パワーがありますって言いましたんですけど、そういうパワーに対してはどうやって、MLB になるのか、というの質問です。
トレーニングはもちろんしっかりしますし、自分が成長するために、毎日、取り組みますし、いろいろなものの中でもしっかりと頑張りたいなと思ってます。あとスモークがファーストやってくれた時はすごく投げやすかったです。
When it comes to his power and how it'll translate, I think there wasn't a specific, this is how it's going to look, but ultimately he wants to continue training and continue adjusting to what he's doing, and from there he thinks he could put together a good result. He just has a very interesting personality, that's all.
Go ahead, Greg.
This is for Ross. Obviously, the Blue Jays have been rumored to be involved in talks with a number of the big-name free agents. Obviously, in November, Bo expressed interest in coming back here. Does this signing impact that at all, or are the Blue Jays still in negotiations to bring Bo back here?
Yeah, I mean, all the things that I said previously, if there's an opportunity for us to think about improving the organization, that we're going to always lean into creative ways to do so. We've always had incredible support.
And we will wrap up the English portion with Gregor at the back.
Gregor Chisholm, Toronto Star. This is a question for Scott. Just when one of your clients, Ryu, signed here a number of years ago, it kind of opened this new era of spending for the Blue Jays. Just wondering how you've kind of seen the evolution of the franchise since that time, and maybe how it's changed the perception within the players group as well.
Well, first I want to thank Ross and Mark and Edward and Mike and Greg from our office for working so hard to achieve a very positive result for Kazuma. And look, I have championed the thought process when I came up here and was sitting at Exhibition Stadium and watching the seagulls land on rock-hard AstroTurf, that as you went around the city, where this was going to go. And then when Rogers Communication became involved, and and you walk around the facility as it exists today, you see their spring training, is that Toronto's become something in the league that is not one of a premier franchises, but they become a state-of-the-art example for player sports science. I send my staff to sports science meetings, and I find Blue Jay representatives there all the time. They're at the forefront of so many things of leadership and player training, advancement, development, and we're starting to see the culmination of this now rewarded in performance and standings and competitiveness at the major league level. Also, is that it's one of the rare franchises that it's about a nation. You go to Toronto and Seattle games, and you see that the breadth of the franchise is so great because it covers, east to west in their commitment and loyalty. So it's really nice to see Major League Baseball challenged. It's nice to see that a country and an organization like this, and I had the opportunity to meet Edward at last year for a length of time, and you could really see the commitment and the personal involvement that he had in this. So I think a lot of people 20 years ago thought when I said that Toronto is one of the major markets in baseball, and I think it's clearly evidencing that today.
The position player
we've been
market.
listening live to the official introduction of the Blue Jays' newest $60 million player, infielder Kazuma Okamoto. And when asked what attracted him to the Blue Jays, Okamoto says that he put all 30 logos of MLB teams in front of his daughter and asked her which one she liked the most. And the Blue Jays is what she said. Also, any ways that he can contribute to the team, he says he will do so defensively, although that conversation is still ongoing when it comes to specifics. We will continue to bring you the very latest as we get around.